D-boys!
Miles has salad.
Yeah, I was going to be like, Peter loves Liverpool. And Chelsea are fourth again. Boys. Or boy.
Boy.
Mate, without Miles this week.
We are. It's just the two of us again.
I know. Well, welcome back, Hito. Welcome back to Draft Boys, the FPL Draft podcast. Joined by Hito and Whitey this week. How you doing?
I'm doing good, mate.
Yeah?
Actually, I'm doing excellent.
You're doing excellent. I felt like,
Excellent.
good is not good enough.
Liverpool are up to 8th.
Are they actually 8th? Are they 8th? That's crazy.
So we're like 10 points off City.
Did you jump 8 places or something?
2 places?
It feels like you were really like relegation battle.
Oh, yeah.
In my mind, that's where you were. It was like,
Do you know what? We're in no man's land, just middle of the table.
yeah,
I
it
couldn't keep
was.
track. Didn't know where we were.
You're in like what used to be like Everton's territory. Just around there, just like
Yeah.
those other Scouser bastards.
Yeah. Although Everton's territory now is like closer to the drop zone, so it's a bit
Yeah.
not good times for them.
Not good times.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we talk about how our teams went?
Let's do it, mate.
I'm just actually been a bit delayed there, and I don't have it up.
That's all right. I can go through mine.
Oh, I was worse probably this week. I think I was the lowest scoring in the league.
Oh, shit.
But not by a lot. Like, it was pretty close
It was
across
real
the whole
tight.
board in our league.
Yeah, what
like
did we
I was
do?
lowest on 39. Who was highest?
We had Mitchy Boy on 54 this week.
So, and he's in second.
15
So he
point
gained
difference.
He gained 5 points on me this week.
Yeah.
15. Oh yeah,
No,
15.
He gained.
Oh yeah, shit, that's way more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was doing
He
bad
gained
math.
15 points on you.
Quick math. 1 + 1 is 20. All right, I'll give you my points. Larice 6. Man, he's been good for me. Shah with 8. Yeah, Chili with a start. Thank fuck. He got a cleanie. And then basically, Mitro got a goal. He's back.
He's back.
I had Robbo and Pope on my bench. They both had 6 points. But Robbo's back.
They didn't. Did they come off your bench?
No, I thought they might have.
Oh, savage.
Well, actually, Robbo was the last, but who came off my bench? I don't even know who came off my bench. Anyway, but yeah, Grealish and Purley ended up on there with 0
you
minutes.
had a lot of 2s in there, didn't you, this week?
I did. I love a 2.
Yeah, love it.
No, I don't. I hate a 2. It's better than a 1.
It is better than 1.
All right,
fair.
talk to me.
Fair.
What did you get?
I didn't do too much better than you. I had 42.
Oh,
this
yeah,
week.
okay.
I had 8 points on my bench for Van Dijk,
Oh,
which is brutal.
that is savage.
I would have put my money or my house on it that Liverpool would concede against City.
I know. With the big man up front.
Yeah, I was terrified.
I know.
I was like, I'm being really strategic here.
Yeah.
I'm making the call, putting the big boys on the bench.
all of the team kind of like respect and passion that you have, you had to put that in the bin.
I did.
And look what it did.
I know. It came back to bite me. Although I called putting Trent on the bench, which is fine because he didn't start. So I was happy about that. But
So where's he at with his injury, as a quick question?
he's back now. So he
Okay.
came off the bench and played for not very long, actually, like a minute. But
That's a good minute.
He's back, though.
He looked good
so,
for that minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the rest
Tell
of
me
my
your
points, huge haul from my boy Kepa in goal.
Oh, how many points
10
did he
points.
get? Oh,
10 points.
is that's bonus plus saves?
So he had 2 bones and 7 saves.
7. Wow.
Yeah. Huge week for the keepers this week. And then just a few other highlights. Mostly the points were from the Arsenal boys. So Saka, Odegaard, Saliba.
Saka, Odegaard, Saliba.
My
Yeah,
trio.
I know, dude. They are solid for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saka is on a run, hey.
He is. He's kind of just low-key just started ripping it since game week 6.
And there's nothing like Odegaard assisting him to
yeah.
top it
I was
off.
a bit worried because I talked about to you boys last week that I was worried about him because he had gone on a bit of a blank run.
Odegaard.
About 4 game weeks. And
Yeah.
then against Liverpool, he got an assist and now backed it up with another. So
Yeah, he's trickling it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I
That's
know.
what you need. Like
Yeah.
that guy, you just want little bits of returns here and there.
100%.
That's going to really stoke the fires of your team.
Yeah.
On another note, you know how I picked up March the other week?
yeah. How'd that go for you?
I'm done with him. I'm done. He's rubbish.
You marched him out of your team?
I marched him. Well, actually, I guess I got up early enough to watch a bit of it live.
Yeah.
I flicked on maybe the second half.
Mm.
And the first thing I saw was him getting a really good opportunity and missing it. And then the commentators saying, oh, that's like the 5th good opportunity he's missed this game. And I'm like, you drop. I was like, that's all I need to know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, look, he's obviously getting forward if he had that many opportunities, but is he scoring them?
Yeah.
As soon as I drop him, he's going to fucking come back. But
yeah.
who knows? Okay, let's get into it. Why don't you, Hito's on Snack Chat this week. I was last week. You're this week.
I am. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Let's hear it.
I'm actually quite happy with this one this week.
Oh, good. So
Yeah.
am I then.
So
He reached so quick for it. Oh,
This
baby.
we have Funkin' Nitro Cocktails, Pina Colada flavor, little 4-pack of 200 mils each, 5% alcohol. It says infused with nitrogen for a velvety texture and smooth head.
Oh, I've had this brand before. Kelly was drinking some of these the other day, but not the pina colada. They're good.
They've got quite a few variety. There's like strawberry daiquiri. There was like something martini.
And it's perfect for a 2-man pot
yeah,
because there's 4 of them.
exactly.
I have looked at them before,
So it says
and to buy both of them, it's quite expensive.
It is. So rotate open, pour hard, and then wait for a minute to watch the foam head form. So I think we go like that, flip it, open it, and then pour it really quickly so the foam head appears.
Oh, it's not very strong. It's only 0.8 standard
Ooh,
drinks.
did you hear that?
Wait, I'm going to follow you because I'm a visual person. I need to
Let's
see.
try
So
this.
you pour hard.
Pour hard, apparently.
Oh, God, he's going hard. There's a lot of glugging.
Oh,
and then you
God.
just let it sit. Oh! Oh! Sorry. That sounded like I got a little excited. Oh!
It's very milky looking, like a classic pina colada.
Yeah, it's very milky. Look, I'm impressed.
Yeah,
I'm
it is only
impressed.
0.8. That is a bit disappointing.
It's light on the alcohol for a
Yeah.
cocktail. But, I mean, look, it is only a 200ml can. So, it's not a lot
That's
of
true.
liquid in there. Oh, and
true.
what do we got for snack while we're
So
waiting for that
snacky
to
boy.
do its thing?
Some pizza shapes.
That is so clutch. That's exactly what I feel like. Okay.
Perfect little snack.
So for those who don't live in Australia, shapes are like, well, they're kind of like oven baked
snack.
They're like oven baked savory biscuits.
Yes.
And like every kid going to school has shapes.
Yeah.
I mean, they rule the market on that.
Yeah.
And they've got 4 core flavors: pizza, barbecue, chicken crimpy. Don't ask what the crimps are about. And what am I missing?
The bacon and
Cheese and bacon.
bacon.
Yeah, cheese and bacon bits.
There's quite a lot of flavors to choose from. It's very
and
hard.
now there are other flavors, but they all fail.
Yeah, it's like cheddar cheese is kind of an OG one.
Yeah, it is, but it's not as good.
But they've made a lot of random ones like Vegemite and
Pizza's so good.
yeah.
It used to be my favorite, then barbecue took over. It tastes nothing like
We had a
pizza.
debate at work
To be
the
fair,
other week actually about which is the favorite, and it was actually really hard to align yourself to one of them because you start thinking about the pros and you're like, but oh shit, no, barbecue's really good.
they're different in great ways.
Yeah.
Look, I better rate this thing now. 8.6. Such a good snack.
Yeah.
You can give it a
Very
rating
tasty.
too, considering there's no miles here today.
Yeah, I really like as like a flavorsome biscuit. It's a solid like I'd give it like an 8.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
One
I think
point
it's-
under me.
I think it's up
Point
there.
1 under me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we've had the head appear on our little cocktail.
Oh Jesus. Oh yeah, it looks
beautiful.
great. It's a nice little. It's a nice texture. That I would say it's velvety.
It
That
is very
nitro ball.
velvety.
It's like what's in a Guinness can. They have
That's a
those in
very good
Guinness
point.
cans.
That's a great point. And I think they're going to be really delicious. Should we try them?
Yeah, let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Sorry, we're taking a photo. Dead air. Holy shit. That's so good. Miles, I'm so sorry. It's so sweet though. You could only
It's
drink
real
like
sweet.
You probably be good to put it over ice, hey? Because the ice would at least dilute it a little.
True.
Good, but that is quite zingy. It's like a lime splice, splice.
Yeah, but not too much. It's still got that coconutty flavor
Oh
to it.
damn. I love that.
Yeah, I really like it too.
I give it a 9.2.
Yeah, I think it's. Well, I would rate it quite high. I would definitely drink a couple of these. It's worth the price.
It shocked my taste buds in such a way that hasn't been done in a while, especially on this pod. It's much better than these fucking hard seltzers you've been bringing.
Yeah, I know, and all the things Miles bringing to
I know.
satisfy my taste.
I know. Oh,
Jesus, I'm
jeez.
knocking my mic.
We're
around
getting
everywhere.
excited here. Okay, we should talk some football.
Let's do it, mate.
Okay, we're going to start with our top 5 teams for the week, which is actually a top 6 this week. But let's start with Fulham versus Bournemouth. I think
do
that's
it, mate.
it's worthwhile giving them a shout out. It was a 2-2 draw,
Yeah.
and it looked like a good game.
It very lively. I'm really impressed with Bournemouth mostly.
Yeah, Bournemouth have been looking
Starting
good.
straight in and talking about them, but
That's fine.
they look really good after getting absolutely humped by us, Liverpool.
I
A
know.
while back now. They've really turned it around. They've not kind of let it get them down and just become a shell of a team.
Yeah, I agree. I think what happened was they lost that. After that loss, they got, fired the manager. I think it's still an interim manager managing them. And I don't know, I was listening to some pundits today, and they were just kind of saying I'm sure he came in saying, I don't have much experience here. Let's just go out and play football. Not too much on the strategy, just trying to get some confidence back. And it seems to have worked. What if they've had 4
since the
unbeaten in 6, eh?
Since the loss, what have they done? They've drawn 4 of them and
I think
won
won
2
2.
of them. Yeah, so that's a really good return to switch that around. And there's a few different players popping up with some form. We spoke about Billing last week. He's on a mad run of form right now.
Tell me about it.
Last 5 game weeks, he's got 3 goals and 1 assist, all in individual games. So he's done a point haul in 4 of the 5 weeks.
So he's got returns in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, except for the middle week in between.
Oh, okay.
That he didn't, but the 2 weeks before were goals, and then the last 2 weeks have been a goal and an assist this game week.
And that's great form. What's their fixtures like?
So their fixtures are interesting. Let me bring up the list for you. So the next one's really good for them in that it's Southampton.
That's great.
Then they have West Ham, who I thought were starting to become a hard team to face again, but the fact that they drew 1-1 with Southampton is quite a potentially good fixture.
Exactly.
Then they've got Spurs, which is a lot tougher, but then Leeds and Everton, which is great. So
yeah, I mean, and you're not going to expect them to win, but it seems like they're up for scoring goals. That's
they're definitely
thing.
scoring goals, and that's what you want.
I think, yeah. So Billing, Solanke, is another one. He got a goal assist this week and a nice goal too. There's no way he's not coming off that without
the way
some
it was
confidence.
worked as well. That was lovely work between.
Yeah.
I think it was Billing who got the assist for that one. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was because Solanke got the assist for the other.
Yeah.
So that was a great work between the two of them.
And yeah, it was Lerma actually who scored the other goal. Let's
Really well taken goal.
Yeah, it was nice. It was kind of edge of the box, curled it in, bottom corner. Yeah, really calm.
I
on
quite
the finish.
like the look of him as an option for this game week.
This period.
Yeah, just for this, if you're really deep leagues and you're looking for some ideas, they're obviously scoring. They're lively. Southampton, Leeds and Everton, I really like in this fixture run.
I'll be honest, I don't know much about Lerma. Do you know where he plays in their formation?
He plays in midfield. I'm not sure how deep he sits, but he's definitely in and around.
I'm trying to look it up right now. Oh,
the
here we
squad.
go. I've got a lineup sheet here. Sorry. Yeah, so he sits more. Yeah, he definitely sits in a defensive midfielder position. It's mainly the connection between Billing and Solanke that's doing most of the work, because you've got Tavernier on the left wing and Christie on the right. I'm not really sure that they're getting much in the way of points just yet.
It very much seems to be going through the middle then, hey?
It does, yeah. And Billing seems to be, move pretty fluid, I guess.
Yes.
But yeah, those two are the highlights for sure. Lerma, to me, is a little fringy. He had one haul in the first week where he got a goal and a clean sheet, and this is his first thing since then. So, not a lot going on. He's played 90 minutes every game.
No. I think maybe it's a very loose option for someone who's a little bit further down their league, and maybe for that bigger league scenario where there's really slim pickings.
Yeah.
And you're looking for someone with a little bit of form now to play into these next kind of 6 fixtures which are pretty solid for them.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I think let's talk about Fulham then. Now, Fulham obviously scored 2 goals. Mitro's back.
Yeah, the pen.
I think he started.
He did, yeah.
He started, yeah. So, I was pretty happy about that. Scored that pen nicely.
He's clinical in front of the goal.
He is. he looks great this year.
And their fixture run just continues to look really, really nice as well. Like Leeds and Everton, particularly in the next two. Then it's City.
Yeah.
But the run after that is really nice too, with United, Palace, Southampton, Leicester. So continuing to be really strong assets. But yeah, they pegged one back after going down with the goal from Diop.
Yep.
He had a rare start for them and scored from a corner, which kind of looked off his shoulder or something. A bit shitty.
Yeah. And I think that was potentially Pereira assisted that.
He did, yes.
And I want to kind of highlight him because he's got returns in the last 2 weeks. He scored a goal last week, got an assist this week. Now, I did have a bit of a 3-game, slow patch there, but he's had a bit going on. He's had another couple assists in other games and decent bonus too. So I really still rate him. I'm kind of like, I'm seeing him. He's available. Like when I look at Bournemouth and Fulham, I kind of brought up the teams, and in our leagues, the only players that are billing is from Bournemouth. That's the only player picked up. Everyone else is free. And for Fulham, Mitrovic is the only player picked up. Now, I'm not saying there are a lot elsewhere to kind of pick up. It really is maybe Pereira and Decordova over Reed for Fulham, and then Solanke is free in our league. So, definitely those guys are looking very good, and maybe they might still be available. I mean, we're a 7-man league, but yeah, could be there.
I think some of them would be. Your Mitro wouldn't be, but these guys are really deep promotion teams, so they're not going to probably be the most high priority for people to pick up on. So they could still be free, and their runs are good.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I'm actually really liking the look of Pereira.
Yeah, I agree with that.
With those 2 returns, that could create a little bit of momentum, and the good fixtures coming their way. But I think maybe, you do have to be a little bit cautious of Villa and Everton. I think Everton's defense has still actually been pretty good. They had one of the best defenses in the league, basically conceding the least amount of goals. And Villa were doing not so bad on the defensive side of things until
this week
recently. So there will be some tough ones potentially in there, but you got to take advantage of those options.
I agree with you. I think there could be that shift in form though from Everton having conceded 4 goals in the last 2 games. Obviously, they're against slightly stronger teams in United and Tottenham, but I think that's a pretty good shout as well.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Tottenham.
Yeah.
Toddy Tottenham.
Should we talk about that diving bitch, Kane?
Look,
was that a dive or what?
It looked like
it was a dive.
It was soft.
I don't see where he was touched. He's just like, I'm falling over. There's a keeper in front of me. I'm just going to fall over Pickford because he's there, and I'm going to get the pen because I'm British and I'm Harry Kane.
Because I'm British and I'm Harry Kane. Mate, you can take. I love that quote.
Dude, it's a fucking golden boy. They give him everything.
Yeah, true.
He wins he doesn't get pulled up for fouls. He bumps keepers and does all this stuff. Never gets pulled up for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never thought about that.
There's so much bias. It's ridiculous.
Interesting. Well, look, he scored that pen and he remains...
Loves a pen.
He's had... what did I read? Sorry. This is his second best start to a season. The only better one was the 16-17 season. He scored like a serious amount of points.
72 points. Second highest in the whole league.
In the game. And
9
honestly,
goals.
in any other year, he'd probably be the highest scorer.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he's even close to Haaland after what Haaland's been doing is pretty nuts.
And he's normally a slow starter. Do you remember how
he is?
That story of how he wouldn't score till like September or something?
Yeah, September.
Like they would always
exactly,
talk about how he'd take a few. But
so he's off to a quick start this year. So
fucking flying.
I wonder what he got in that 16, how many points he got in that 16-17 year. I'm just going to have a quick... Oh, damn it. It's the stupid draft site. They don't let you look at the history.
It's so stupid that they're not the same, aren't they?
Why?
It's really, really dumb.
I don't get that at all. I think it's just a glitch.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they've just set it... Because they've built it off a different part of the site, which is really dumb. So...
Oh, okay.
I think there's something to do with that. But
all right, sorry for the delay, but here it is. I've gone into the budget version. His history, the 16-17 season, he got 224 points. So that's his second highest scoring season. Actually, 2020-21 was his highest with 242.
That's probably when he got golden boot.
Mm-hmm.
So would have scored a shitload more goals.
So yeah, look, Kane, he scores goals. We all know that. He's on fire. Who else in this team are you liking?
A bit of an outside package. Højbjerg with a goal this week.
Yep.
Takes him up to 3 for the season. 1 assist as well. He's tied on points with Sonny Boy.
Really?
Yeah, both on 47.
Okay. 47 points.
Yeah.
I think this week he kind of falls into that stop. You know, our next segment.
I think he jumps past our pickups into our stop.
Yeah, because we've kind of been like, oh,
And it's been very spread, the 3 goals. But
Exactly.
it's just coming every couple of weeks.
it's a bit like Xhaka. It's a bit like JWP of other seasons. He just seems to be,
He's done
ticking over.
Funnily enough, between each of the 3, between the first and second, and then the second and third, it's 3 games he went blank. So
Really?
he seems to run in cycles of every 4 games. He scores.
Okay. So they've got Man United, Newcastle, and Bournemouth. So kind of a medium run. What?
I'm just laughing. So that means he's going to score against Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
Based off his
Yeah, sorry, mate.
So he score against Liverpool. He's going to score against Palace.
Yeah, okay. Play him this week, play him that week. I love that. Dangerous. But yeah, great calls from him. So if you want a constant starter and someone in a formed team seems to be getting forward, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
It's a shame that he's not on pens or something. Then he'd be a real...
he'd be a huge asset.
He'd be a huge asset.
Yeah.
He'd be kind of like a combination between JWP and Jorginho.
Yeah. He definitely does find himself in those positions where it's just like he's been the man that runs into the box outside of the attackers from the midfield. So it seems like others are sitting back because they obviously play the 5 at the back. It allows him to run forward through the middle.
Make those late runs and kind of, get in late into the box. Okay. So I think that really covers Tottenham for me, unless you've got anything else.
No, I think that's right. We obviously saw like some defensive points this week outside of that, which is really solid. Perisic came on and played, got some bones. We spoke about, do we drop him? What do we do with him last week?
Yeah.
But we kind of emphatically said, don't drop him, hold him. He's going to be that rotation player. And it paid off again this week, having him in your team. So,
yeah.
And we know it's solid. The only question for me out of this is that Emerson Royale's suspension ends soon. So he'll be missed 1 more game and then he's back. I'm curious to see what happens with Doherty because Doherty's had 2 back-to-back starts.
Yeah.
Both clean sheets.
Yeah, and
will he just
got an assist this week.
Yeah, will he just keep the position? So that's one to watch moving forward. I think if he can keep that position up when Royal comes back, I'd be wanting to jump on him.
I mean, I drafted him. He's a good player. That's the thing. He just got played out of the team. So it's going to be interesting.
Conte did shit talk him not too long ago, saying he wasn't looking too good, but he's come through and contributed.
He's proved him wrong.
So you can't.
Oh, and one last thing, Richarlison. He's out for nearly a month.
Yeah, that's a bit brutal, hey.
So, you might see him just before the World Cup, but unlikely, really.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
There's a few injuries coming up now, aren't there?
I know. It's this busy fixture list, surely.
Yeah, that's what you fucking get,
and there's
don't you?
this is what you fucking get. All right. Oh, I wish Miles was here this week. We're talking about Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mount with a double.
Talk to me, mate.
Mount with a double. Look, he's looking good again. He's kind of become himself.
My question would be, is it a lucky double, though?
Yes, I'd agree. But okay, let's look at his stats. Hang on. I'm getting him up. He, he's done pretty well since Potter has been at the team.
He's been subject to a little bit of rotation because what's been happening there at Chelsea.
Oh, he's played the most minutes, I think, out of anyone since, or maybe not out of anyone.
I think he got benched in one of the first games, maybe, but
that was it, though.
Yeah,
I think
so he's back-to-back weeks, though, of 2 goals this week. He had 2 assists last week, so 2 huge hauls from him. 27 points in 2 weeks, which is massive.
Yeah, that is huge.
And he'd done 1 assist before that, so he had a really slow start to this season.
Exactly, and that was all mainly under
Tommy Tukes.
Because I'm not sure what the first game. I think it was West Ham. Was Potter's first game?
Yeah, I can't really remember how many he's done now. It might not have actually even been that.
Oh, that was game week 6. Oh, yeah, because there was the massive break. So basically, yeah, Potter's first game was Crystal Palace.
Okay.
So
So he's played all 3 of them.
yeah, he's played every game.
Maybe it's Champions League I'm thinking of that he got benched for.
Yeah, and even then he's playing. Like, yeah,
Coming off the bench.
coming off the bench. Look, yeah, he looks in form. He's already looking good. He's getting forward. He's on free kicks. I mean, Reece James isn't playing right now, so that's one of his main contenders for
I'm so
free
mad I
kicks.
didn't get him when Stace in our league dropped him.
Who Mount.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I
was
didn't-
second pick and I wanted him, and someone else, the person before him, was like switched on and picked him. I was like, fuck. Why couldn't you not pay attention this week?
That actually brings up a good conversation that Miles and I were having. During the week this week, we're kind of talking about like it's quite easy to miss when there is a big player who's out of form. For example, Mount, right? He was out of form and someone dropped him. And if you're not watching the waiver wire every week, if you're not just if you're not checking, if you're not, sorry, I wasn't close enough to my mic. If you're not checking the waiver wire every week, like you're going to miss stuff like that because, you know, like when you're doing your standard kind of checks through the point, like if you were just looking at who scored the most points, like if you've got it set to that, you're going to miss players like Mount if they're doing that poorly, and they're definitely worth a punt, you know. And it's whoever picked him up in our league, they're profiting from that now.
Well, it's actually like we wouldn't really have advised to drop Mount. I think from his early form, I think he would have been a hold for us just because of how well he's done. And
I agree, but if you're not paying attention,
no,
everyone else in the league is going to think he's being held because why would you drop him?
yeah. But that also speaks to you need to actually look and see who gets picked up in the waiver wire that week or dropped.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to watch the waiver wire to see who's dropped.
Yeah.
Because someone might quickly drop someone because they want, you know, they're not
Cheeky one in-
they're not
one
playing
off.
this week. For example, and like I'm shouting it out to everyone who in our league who might listen to this podcast, but I dropped Tierney this week and he's not doing that great, but I've kind of been holding him on to him as a specky. I dropped him basically to kind of move Gomez into the team, get a starting player because I had a lot of City and Arsenal players, so I needed more people playing. But if he does anything in the next week, and I haven't got him, someone's going to jump on him.
Yeah.
But how would they even know he was available?
To be honest, I've done the same with Mahrez.
Yeah,
He didn't play it all. He didn't play it all. I was like, fuck it. I need another player that's similar to you to play this week. For me, he's a bit of a dead specky at the moment. And yeah, if I drop him, someone else might not jump on him straight away, but I'm going to keep an eye on him because I remember having him, but someone else might not know that I've dropped him.
And it's very important in those midweek deadlines too.
Oh, there's only 2 people who picked up this week.
Me and you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I did okay.
And there's options out there. We spoke about what's available in our league right now. There's people who need someone like Solanke.
I know 100%. They're just not paying attention.
Yeah.
Okay, now we've talked about that enough. Otherwise, Kepa. Fuck. How good was he?
Yeah. Insane.
There was a triple save. I know one of the, shots was offside or something, but it was still a save. And then he went on to save that header from Ings.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, he is looking good right now. Like, and he's bulked up a little.
Yeah.
He's put on some muscle.
That's a good shout, actually. I didn't really pick that.
Yeah, like Miles said it, and I was like, oh, I had no idea. And then when I was kind of watching it
It's
again.
not in the belly.
Yeah, not in the belly.
After being benched for so long.
Well, I think that he had a bit of a lack of confidence, kind of punching the ball away.
Oh, he was a mess. I remember.
He was not very good. And I guess there's a lack of confidence because he's not the biggest goalie. And, whatever. He wasn't big enough, basically. So he put on a bit of weight, put on a bit of muscle, and a belly. And now he looked quite confident out there doing that kind of stuff. Like he had to do a couple of punches and I was worried. Like I was having flashbacks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, God.
Here comes the goal.
But he looked much more confident.
Yeah, but 2 bones, 7 saves.
Yeah, and they were good saves. That was a really good game from him. And I think like right now, Mendy's not back in the team if Kepa keeps playing like this.
No, I don't know how you can drop him.
You can't drop him, even though Mendy wasn't looking great before his injury.
Yeah.
So Kepa's a pickup for me. But I
Is
assume
he playing well with
he's
his
already gone.
feet out for the goal?
That's exactly
He is,
why
yeah.
everyone's saying that he might stay in the team, just because that's not Mendy's strongest point. Kepa is better like
The amount
that.
of times we've seen him get caught on the ball trying to distribute out from the
man. I know. I love my Mendy, but yeah. Another shout out, Sterling had a few chances in this game. Still seems to be lacking finishing. His form has not been great.
No, it's been
off the
horrible.
crossbar in this game. But yeah, otherwise Chelsea in great form.
We got to talk about Mount's goals.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Well, that header from Mings.
Oh my God.
That was shocking.
Anyone who follows on Twitter would have seen the GIF I reposted from
what'd you post? I didn't even see it.
I saw it from someone else I follow and had to retweet it. It was fucking hilarious. It was like a clip of Andy Murray's speech when he had to, when he retired, I think. And it says, the caption was when Gerard asked Mings to defend better next week or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's the clip of Andy Murray going, "This is going to be hard, but I'm going to try."
Oh, really? I haven't seen that. That's so good.
It was just the perfect summary because that header was... How often do you see that happen?
It's rare. It was completely miscued. Like it curled in a little bit behind him, and I think he just had already committed to jumping.
Yeah.
And
What pisses me off is, I know it's very split second, but the fact that he just he obviously loses the ball a bit in the air, but then makes no movement to try and start to try and rectify it, and then
it was
stop.
too late.
He just looks and goes,
But there's no way. I thought about that. There's no way he's getting that ball.
I know,
He
but
looks
I
and
just-
sees Mount there. It's done.
I know, but I just think you can't. I hate that when players just stand and watch.
Because he's probably, I agree, but he's in fucking shock that he's just done that. He's like, oh my God. I remember looking at his face. He's like, fuck.
But I just think that, professional footballers, they just would have that go. And it happens way too often.
It happens a lot. I agree.
Speaking from experience.
Professional
athlete.
Mate, I am professional.
And then the
athlete.
second one, the goal from the free kick. When I first saw it from the proper stadium angle, I was like, holy shit, that's an amazing goal.
Yeah, I know. That's how I felt.
But then when they put it behind the goal and I saw where it went in the middle and Martinez's horrendous judgment of where it was.
Yeah, so I was listening to a bit of punditry on this as well. So they were kind of saying that he didn't look confident in his wall. So when you're kind of setting your wall, obviously you're hoping that they're going to be able to keep the player basically from scoring on that side unless they do something amazing, right? Because going over the wall's the hardest option. Well, maybe not the hardest option, but anyway, it's difficult.
Definitely, yeah.
And then you kind of meant to hold your ground on left side of goal. Well, in this situation, it was the left side of goal. Anyway, I guess he kind of felt some sort of insecurity about his wall, maybe how he positioned it. He wasn't happy. And it just looked like he thought that, Mount was going to go over there because of that. So he immediately took the steps there. He was in his own head.
Yeah.
And it was too late.
And then he got caught out and he couldn't swat it away.
Look, Mount struck it very well. It was coming in hot. It was dipping. If he was still standing where he was, yes, he would have scored it. It's a good strike from Mount regardless.
Yeah.
But, Emmy really cooked it on that one.
He did.
What else are we going to say here? Just other than that, Chelsea are in great form. It's going to be very tough picking their starting lineup. James is out for obviously 8 weeks, so until the World Cup, 6 games.
The thing I also wanted to throw out there too was I was surprised to see the lineup and the back four.
Yeah.
Chile, then Cucurella at left centre back.
Yep.
I think Silva, and then Chalobah as right back.
I thought he was right centre back, and then it was Sterling kind of playing almost like a right wing back.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was only just looking at the lineup formation, not how they played it. But
yeah, so they it wasn't necessarily exactly that, but it was like Sterling, fitting back, and he was back defending a fair bit. So I think it was more like a 5 at the back.
Okay, because I saw Loftus-Cheek on the app. It said he was in the pivot, the double pivot.
He was, and then they moved him
to right wing back.
Yeah, because Sterling was struggling.
I think he might be a good shout for a right wing back cover.
Yeah, look, he's not going to get up and down the pitch super quick. He's not rapid by any means. Yeah, but look, he could be a good shout. He could get some assists. He could get a bit further forward than he has been in the centre of the pitch.
Yeah.
But I think the thing
he's
is...
a midfielder too, isn't he? So he can get you clean sheet points.
He doesn't get you cleanies. So it's not as a good shout there. But look, I think he's looked really good throughout this season, really.
I think you've got some options as a team to survive these injuries, thankfully, which is a good sign for you generally.
I know, and the World Cup's a bit of a blessing.
It's an absolute blessing. And that's what I like too in terms of just generally when you think about, we've only got to get through 6 more weeks and then teams lose all their form or whatever they had. I'm thinking that from a Liverpool point of view too.
I know.
How does it, impact City and Arsenal's run? So I'm kind of happy we just got to get through 6 more weeks.
Yep.
Not let them get too far away, and then it's fucking game on.
And hope all our World Cup players don't get fucked.
Oh, yeah.
But the last thing I wanted to say is it is tough picking Chelsea's lineup, but there are certain things like, for example, Pulisic played a little bit in the last 2 games. Obviously rested for this game. They've got a very busy fixture schedule. But for me, like I picked up Pulisic and played him in the hope that maybe his run of form would continue. But not surprising that he was rested just because of how many games being played. But he's very likely to play for this game coming up. So the waiver is still open. Yeah, sorry. We're just cracking our second pina coladas.
Pour them quick. We got in that head.
Yeah, listen to this. Well, this is for the listeners. Oh, baby. That's crisp.
I love that.
You heard it here first.
Well, how about it's the time for me to ask you. I've made an interesting move, I think, this week on the waiver.
What'd you do?
I picked up Gallagher.
Yeah, I did see that.
What do you think?
I like it. I think he's going to play the next game.
That's what I was thinking. In fact, it was Brentford. I know Brentford just got a surprising win this week. And I think we're going to talk about them briefly at the end. But I just thought they've been whipping boys a little, for the most recent part. So I was like, fuck, if he starts next game with the rotation Potter's been doing, that's not a bad fixture to have him for.
No, I agree. I think it's kind of that similar thing to Pulisic, basically. Like, you've got to try and figure out when they're going to play. And yes, they're probably going to sit on your bench, but they are potentially good options for some goals. And especially
like your rotation position too. You've got that flexibility to not get too committed to them.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we should move on because we talked about Chelsea a lot and Miles wasn't even here. So good job, Hito. Now Liverpool. We don't need to spend long here. All right, let's talk about it. Hito, your boys, they got up.
Because we got Salah. na, 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 Miles must be happy. Na, 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 na.
I like, as the third party here, like the person who's not involved, it sucks. Salah, oh my God, he's a fantasy god. If he goes on fire here, Miles is straight back in the league.
Mate, off the back of the fastest hat-trick in Champions League history against Rangers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. 6 minutes.
Were they good goals?
They were easy. Just because, they were good goals, but it's hard when it's against a team you beat 7-1. So
yeah, okay, fair enough.
They were good. They weren't just shitty, scrappy goals, but just great finishes.
Yeah, so in this game, obviously, he had an early opportunity that was saved.
What a save, though, from Edison.
That was nice. Fingertips. And then in the end, man, that turn on Cancelo was brutal.
He fucked him, didn't
Complete misjudgment on the flight of the ball from Cancelo. And then Salah just nails that first touch.
100%. Did you see that clip of the very wide stadium angle where you can see Pep on the sideline at the bottom of the clip?
Oh, no.
As soon as the turn happens and Salah's sprinting, he puts his hands up in frustration, then falls onto his knees, and then 2 seconds later, goal.
Oh, really?
You could just see the emotion from him. He's screaming players to get back as as Alisson lofted the ball. As soon as the turn and the mistake happened from Cancelo, he was on his knees fuck, it's a goal.
Alisson's pretty good at that, right?
He just felt that way, though. Salah's he's missed one. He's fucking scoring this one.
Yeah, I know. And it was a nice finish.
But Ali, loves an assist.
Yeah, he does, eh? He sees those runs. And Salah knows it too. It's a good connection there.
Yeah.
You're not always going to get the... you're not going to get those kind of returns from Alisson all the time, but they're definitely a possibility if he does that.
100%. And the fact that he has that in his game, it just adds that extra little spicy value. 14 points this week from Alisson, taking all 3 bones. Just
if he's not coming up and scoring, he's assisting from the back.
That goal a couple of seasons ago was fucking beautiful.
How good was Jurgen?
Oh.
He was so fired up. It looked like his false teeth were about to fall out of his mouth.
Before we move completely off Alisson, I've just got to say he's on equal assists to Grealish this season.
To who?
Grealish.
Shut up. How many assists? One.
One each.
How many goals does he have?
None. Neither does Grealish.
Does he not?
Oh no, Grealish has one. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh no, Grealish has 1 goal actually. Sorry, I'm misreading the stats. But anyway. They've got 1 each.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The defense looked pretty good in that game.
They did. They looked a lot better, which is really surprising.
Yeah, I don't know how they turned it around. Is there something that they changed in terms of formation or anything like that?
We've kept with the 4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
So
right.
we've kind of switched away from our 4-3-3.
Yeah, okay.
So we kept that, but just it was very surprising because Gomez has looked horrendous this season since when he's played. Excuse me. And he had an absolute game.
He played amazing. I was
Amazing.
like blown away by him. So much so I picked him up.
100%. And then Milner, old man Jimmy Mills, on the right back pocketing fucking like Foden and
Yeah, I know.
Bernardo Silva.
He's capable of that.
Yeah.
He's just got that in him.
But he's had a few shit games too. So I think honestly the midweek Champions League results really kind of got them firing. And then this fixture came at the perfect time just to be like this. It's basically, it was a free hit.
So do you just jump on Liverpool defenders just in case? Like they're going to come good?
Yeah, we warned against it last week because it just didn't look like a good, it wasn't going to be fixed anytime soon. But yeah, I think
like
it's that
Robbo's back too.
Yeah, Robbo's
I know that's
back.
not huge defensively, but like at least it's a bit of that old lineup looking,
No, I agree with you. It definitely makes it. The only worry for me is that Matip could potentially play the next game just because of the rotation. Although, actually, no, sorry, he's injured, so he probably won't play, actually.
Yeah, he's
so it will
injured.
be Gomez again. So I think Gomez is your only shout because he'd probably be the only one free. Everyone would have VVD and Robbo and
and that's why I went for him because he was free in our league and jumped on that because I think they've got a decent fixture coming up. And I mean, most fixtures are decent for Liverpool, but still.
Well, yeah, West Ham, Forest, and then Leeds is a really nice run.
So there's a little run there, and if Matip's 25%, who knows how long that's going to be? It could be 1 game week or it could be 3. I don't really know when his return date is, but if I can get 3 little cleanies or anything from him there, I'd be pretty happy.
I like that.
Okay, we should move on because we've been a bit slow
do it.
today. Our last one, which we're going to talk about quickly, is Brentford. Tony is on fire.
He's bucking the trend of Brentford's form, isn't he?
Oh my God, he's a one-man killing machine over there. I mean, he's the 3rd highest scoring player I think in the league right now.
I wouldn't
Or
be
is he
surprised.
fourth?
He's on 65.
Yeah, he's
so-
on. Yeah, he's 3rd.
Wow. That's
So he's a
crazy.
1 point ahead of Foden. He has been on absolute fire, and you can see it in the game. Like he looks so confident. I mean, it's been a while since he's hauled, though. I would say, like game week 6, he got 17 points, and he had a pretty good start to the
That's when he had
season.
the Hattie, eh?
Yeah. So look, there was,
It's a bit sporadic, but it's not endless weeks without goals.
but it also isn't like it's pretty consistent. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got returns pretty much in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 out of 11 games. So more than half. But yeah, you could see the confidence coming out of him. Like that flicked on goal was amazing.
Oh, that was so good.
That is not easy to do. And then he's on pens. He's getting goals. He's getting goals.
I think the only tricky thing is there's not really anyone else. Like the
No.
only other call out is that they have in the last 3 games had 2 clean sheets. So clean sheet against Bournemouth, then they conceded 5 against Newcastle, and then they clean sheet against Brighton. So it's very confusing and hard to read how their form is looking. But Raya was on form.
Yeah, he looked
Made
great.
7 saves. Again, it's the week of the keepers.
I know it was a crazy week for
But
keepers.
I'm a bit worried about you wouldn't pick their defense against Chelsea.
No, but you might be one to wait on because then there comes Aston Villa, Wolves, and
Forest. I like that trio.
that's a good run there. And I think maybe that's a good shout just to pick up maybe a wing back or something.
I think if they don't get pumped by Chelsea, it's a good
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that for sure.
But
Okay.
there's no one else really doing anything, is there?
No,
Points-wise?
there
No
really
one
isn't.
really
I
lucky.
think, Tony's the man.
Yeah.
Tony's the man for sure. Okay, let's talk stop, drop, and hold.
Let's
Tell
do
us
it.
what stop, drop, and hold is, Hito. That's your favourite thing to do.
Stop, drop, and hold.
It's what happens when you come up with
It's
your
our-
own segment.
It's our fire routine.
Yeah.
We're talking about stop. So this is stop sleeping on certain players. Like they've gone past the point of a initial like punt and a pickup. It's now like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop waiting.
Yeah, love it.
Drop, pretty straightforward. Get them the fuck out of your team.
Hold.
Hold, it's a bit more of a question mark. It's like, are they a drop yet? I'm a bit concerned about them.
Yeah.
Where do I sit with these players? So we have a little bit of a debate about, a few names that we're not sure about.
All right, let's dive in.
Let's dive in. First stop, Kepa.
Come on.
I called him out last week. I just want to put it in there again because he's had the back-to-back clean sheets.
And he looked so good. I agree. I think when you put it in stop last week, I was still a little like, I don't know. Let's see where Chelsea are at defensively. We've lost, had injuries in our back line. And still, there's that
I was maybe a bit early
Mendy
last
looming.
week.
But now I'm like, yeah, 100%. He's looking really good. I wouldn't be surprised that if he was the keeper going forward, unless he makes a mistake, which could happen. And then okay, Mendy's sitting there. You've got to know that that is the risk. But for right now, I think he's worth the risk. Okay, next one.
Next one, bit of a cheeky play here. Salah.
Yeah, look. I figure he is in someone's team. But look, he is looking a little bit spicy.
Yeah, I think what we wanted to say is because we don't really have like a, it's kind of our inform section of the pod as well. So we just have to just call out that amazing combination of Champions League form as well as, the goal this week. It looks like we're starting to see that old Salah again. He had that he was all over the place this game in a good way. He just looked a lot more like himself. So I think we're on a good run for our Salah owners.
Yeah, and I think that's 4 goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
You got to respect that. And he got a return? What was the last time he returned before that?
That was 2 weeks before he got an assist.
Okay,
But he hadn't scored since game week 3.
So look, 4 goals, we'll see. Because, Sonny got his 3 and then still hasn't quite hit
True.
The heights. But let's see on that. But yeah, we shouldn't spend too long there. We've already talked about this next guy, Højbjerg.
Yeah, he's kind of jumped past our pickup spot into a stop because he's now hit the 3 goals over the course of the season.
Yeah, and in about 4 games' time,
he'll score again.
You better play him against Liverpool. Don't doubt him.
We should put money on him scoring against Liverpool.
Yeah, I like it. And our last one here, Chalobah.
Yeah, again, another one kind of jumping past our pickup. We spoke about how he was a pickup a long time ago. Miles called it super early.
Yeah.
But I think just with the urgency of the injuries coming across Chelsea, he's kind of just going straight in there of, guys, you need to jump on this 2 back-to-back clean sheets. He's playing with these injuries happening, so potentially have a starter for the next little while.
I think so, because we are thin at the back. Cucurella's playing in there. He didn't look amazing.
Except for Kepa, he's not thin anymore.
Yeah,
He's thick.
He's
a big boy.
He's a big boy. But I think Chalobah's going to play on that right side. You might see a little bit of rotation with him just because of the heavy fixtures, but but otherwise, really good. Okay, who's on our drop list this week?
Our first one on the drop is Antonio.
Do you rate it? I think I put this name in there. Do you think he's a drop?
I think he is. He came off the bench and scored last week, but it was an absolute shit show calamity defensive error by Fulham that allowed him to score. And I just think there's so many other strikers out there now. We've kind of shit-talked Antonio a little bit this season already. And Scamacca's starting every game.
And he looks good. Scamacca looks good.
Unless Scamacca goes on a run of not scoring for 5+ weeks, I just think there's so many other strikers out there right now that could still be free.
It's weird, hey. This season does seem like a season for strikers. We've said it before, but wow.
Yeah. Someone would be holding Firmino who normally wouldn't hold him because he's not a good fantasy asset.
Yeah.
We spoke about Edouard having a bit of form recently.
Solanke in there.
Solanke, Ronnie's starting a few games for United with Martial out.
Yep.
There's just so many names out there I'd be taking punts on.
Yeah, over him. I'd agree with that. Next one, Rodrigo. You put this one in.
I did. I just think since he's come back from that one, he had only missed 1 game because of injury, really.
Yeah.
But he's come back and he's not got any point hauls against some okay looking fixtures. I just think the form's gone.
Leeds just haven't looked particularly great. I mean, not their fantasy assets.
No.
They looked pretty lacking in front of goal, actually. Bamford missing his penalty and, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Bamford should be in this list too.
I know. The only call here is that they do have Leicester then Fulham, which are not bad fixtures before they go into a tricky run of Liverpool, Bournemouth, Spurs, City. That's a pretty...
So maybe you think wait and see.
Yeah, it could potentially still be a hole, but I know the form... If you got someone out there who we spoke about that has a bit of form, and I'd rather be picking them up for the next bit, but I know deep leagues you might want to see these next 2 games, but I just think he's edging on that drop.
Okay, another one here. Richarlison.
Yeah, I put him in here as we kind of mentioned that he was injured in the earlier chat, and I kind of remembered oh shit, injured. He's not been playing a lot anyway. He's only been playing really because Cooley's been out.
Yeah.
And he's out for a month.
Yeah, Cooley's nearly back as well. I mean, he's got 19 points over the season. In the games he has started, he's got... Well, the 2 games he started, he got an assist in both. Actually, he didn't get anything in the Leicester game. But yeah, anyway, he's just not looking that great. And I think, as you said, there's like some forwards out there worth picking up. And if he's going to be out, I don't think anyone's going to pick him up as a specky, because that's the thing. There are a lot of forwards.
And he's back the last week before the World Cup.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like...
Would he even play? Like, they don't necessarily get played straight into that team.
Would he play? And also then he's gone and you got to wait on World Cup form.
If there's someone worth picking up, I'd be dropping him.
Yeah, you'd want someone else for the next few weeks. 100%.
Okay, let's go into our holds. Okay, speaking of injuries, James.
Ahmed's.
Fuck, it's brutal, man.
Yeah.
For James owners, you would have been frothing at these next 6 weeks.
I know.
Including the one just gone.
And he'd be fucking pissed too. Probably missing out the World Cup, I think.
Oh yeah, he will be missing the World Cup. He'd be gutted. It's brutal, and it's actually a shame, because I think
funny after all that
I'd love to see him
chat
there.
about Trent being dropped and left out of the squad. Basically, injury to Walker, and James has forced him to come back in. So all that chat was redundant now.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny.
Did Walker get injured as well?
He's been out for a little bit now.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'm do a fantasy podcast. Didn't know that.
It's all right. He's not really an asset, so you're forgiven.
But for me, I think James is more of a hold. I think he's the kind of player that, like, you get 5 defenders, someone will happily pick him up if they see him drop.
Oh, I would pick him
Just
up
as,
too.
I know, like if
I'd drop a good player for him.
yeah, for sure. Because he's great. He's capable of so much.
The best thing about an injury like this is he has the whole World Cup to recover to and get fitness back. So he gets free 3 weeks
Yep.
of recovery
Yeah.
without games going by. So that's
100%.
amazing.
Yeah, so I really think that he's a hold. Now, Grealish, you gave him some shit today.
Yeah,
I have him.
you do.
I'm holding him.
Yeah.
But I'm in a unique position. I'm first.
He's not your worst mid either.
No, not necessarily. Like I have, I don't have the best mids this year.
Yeah.
So, I've got a pretty strong team otherwise. I'm coming first in our league. And for me, if I was to drop Grealish, if he went on a tear, which is possible because, Mahrez hasn't looked great and he's starting in a City lineup. Like, that's potential for some really good hauls, even if he is out of form. I just think that for me, at the moment in my team, he's worth hanging on to, because if I drop him, there's no chance I'll get him back. If he scores 1 goal, someone will pick him up.
You'd have to plummet down the league table.
So for me, there's no other mid I'm going to sneak into my team right now that's maybe potentially capable of hauling more than him. And there are other mids that I'd drop before him. So for me, I'm keeping him. I want to see what happens. If he suddenly goes on a tear, I'm going to be very happy, because that's exactly what I will need in my team potentially.
How would you be feeling if he was your weakest mid? Would you be more tempted to drop him despite being in first?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe if there was somewhere I could move, somewhere good though. I'd want to move somewhere good. And especially being in first is so rare.
Yeah.
There is like a player like that that's going to come to me. And I haven't actually put him on the waiver to be dropped at all. Even for good ones, because I've just always had not that good of mids.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, time will tell on that one. And the last one, Fernandes.
Yeah, I think we just got to talk about it.
Well, you got to hold him. Or maybe think about a transfer.
Yeah, I don't think he's he can't be a drop, but I don't know who's going to be super interested in his prospects as a fantasy player unless you've got a Man United fan in your league.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Like, you're definitely not going to be trading high for him right now. I think he's just one of those players. He's going to be a dead weight in your team.
Mate, 1 goal, 1 assist.
Better than Grealish.
Pretty shit. Yeah, 1 more assist.
But I imagine that Fernandes
brutal
probably went
though,
a bit
man.
higher than Greals.
Yeah, he would have gone. I think he went first round in our league. That was like
Wow.
But that was from someone who didn't pay much attention and was using the draft rank. So,
Yeah.
but still, it's not looking good for Fernandes.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on it to me, because it's one of those things. Like, yes, he's not in form, but how can you drop him? Like, you can't. There's too much upside. Okay, so there's no fan questions this week, unfortunately. It's gone a bit quiet there, and because we don't have Miles, he does get some of those in for us. So sorry if we've missed any. We'll try and catch up on them next week. Now, let's do our top pickups. So it's only you and me this week. You can start.
Okay. My first one is Solanke. seems a bit obvious, but I think that second week in a row of form now, showing we kind of wax lyrical about Bournemouth and their goal scoring despite bad results.
Wax lyrical.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, actually, the results have been okay. Like they've been drawing and winning, haven't they? Or losing?
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I think they've won 2, drawn 4.
Yeah. So not too bad.
But the thing is, they're scoring goals.
They're scoring goals. So
and
I like him as a striker pickup. If you got a shit striker, fucking jump on him. I'm picking him up over Watkins. I'm dropping Vardy for him.
Ooh, Vardy for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Because I think Daka right now is...
Yeah.
He's starting over Vardy, it seems.
He is. So I'm jumping on him. I also like Andreas. We kind of spoke Pereira. We spoke about him earlier.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit of an outside specky midfielder to pick up.
Yeah, well, 2 returns in the last 2 weeks. Fairly consistent over the season too.
Yeah, he's popped up with a little bit here and there. I think these deep leagues would really like him if he's not being held already. And I think really out there specky from me, particularly this week with Gallagher. I want to bring him up again because I've personally done it, and I think it's an interesting option.
I like it. I mean, he got picked up the week. He got picked up and then dropped, and then you picked him up because I think, he scored a goal, whatever, looked really good. The thing is, he's looking good when he's coming on the pitch. He's playing in a lot of different positions, but he is...
That's my worry, that he'll get played in that deeper midfield role.
I think it's less... I don't think it's super likely. Look, at the moment, like, Jorginho's fit, Kovacic's fit, and Loftus-Cheek. You've got 3 good options there for those 2 midfield spots. And then you've got Zakaria too, who hasn't played any games, but who's also another defensive mid option. So I think Gallagher is more likely to play further up the pitch, and they're going to utilise his attacking abilities and passing abilities. So, yeah, I like Gallagher, but you're also going to have to try and pick what games he's going to play.
Yeah, that's why I went for this one, because it's a midweek game. It's a really quick rotation around.
And then you can bring in someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's a nice pickup. Okay.
What about yours?
I'm going to race through these. Okay, first one. Castagna. Okay, Castagna. Look, he had 3 clean sheets, but one of those he was taken off before the goal was scored. So there's 2 clean sheets for Leicester. They're looking a little more solid at the back, and he is a bit punty, I'd admit. But the thing is, he does also have that benefit of potential attacking returns. So I think that mitigates the risk a little bit. I'm not saying this is a bit of a risk, and if you're just trying to find an edge, maybe he's an edge just for at least a couple of weeks until Leicester's defence either shows itself.
Well, especially with the next 2 fixtures, mate, Leeds and Wolves, who aren't scoring a lot of goals lately, there's potential for a clean sheet in that 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah, so I like him for that, and potentially some attacking returns too. So, yeah, pretty good there. My other one is Gomez. We've already talked about him. I think he's going to play for the next probably 3 game weeks. He's got 3 decent fixtures coming. That's pretty straightforward. Matip's injured, so yeah, I think that's the go there. My last one, this is pretty specky. So I watched him in the game against Chelsea. Ingsy, he started. Now, obviously, first 6-10 minutes, Chelsea were absolutely dominating Aston Villa. We got that goal. We were all over them. And then all of a sudden, it changed. And for a good half hour of that first half and a little bit of the second half, we were getting peppered. They looked really good. And I was like, oh my God, okay, we're going to concede here. Because Aston Villa were everywhere and they looked very good when they were getting their opportunities. And they basically were kind of talking about the fact that, they've changed the formation a bit. They played 2 up the front. Ings and Watkins, and that made them look a lot better.
They've got to change something, man. They're not doing too well.
Well, the thing is, as much as they didn't end up getting that goal, Ings was in with a bunch of chances, and look, he's not had a lot of game time, but if they stick with this, I don't think they have the worst run of fixtures either.
It's pretty solid. It's Fulham, Brentford, Newcastle, United.
So if there was ever a chance for them to kind of okay, change it up and see how it goes, now's the time. There's no guarantees that the formation stays the same, and it's definitely a risk. But in deeper leagues, I think it's worth taking.
Yeah, I think if you've got the other strikers that aren't doing well or starting, you may as well try and swap out for someone who potentially will start.
And he's a proven goal scorer. Ings
that season he had at Southampton.
Yeah, crazy. He's capable of some good stuff, and maybe if he gets some minutes, maybe we see
Yeah.
some of that form. So I really thought that Aston Villa for times in that game looked very good. So that was scary to me, and I think potentially that was partly the way that formation they played and dropping Coutinho and Buendia and running things a bit differently in the midfield. But let's see how they go. They got some good games, so Ingsy.
Yeah, like it.
And that's it.
Wraps it up.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I think it was fun. That was a good one.
That's good. Yeah,
The
mate.
pina coladas kept things
Oh,
happy.
mate, they were delicious.
They definitely this is the drink we wish for the weather we were having, but we're not
Yeah.
having. It's just raining constantly in Sydney, so we're staying indoors, but we're drinking like we're outdoors in the sun.
Yeah. Reminiscing about the weekends.
Speaking of which, good luck on the weekend, and don't forget to send us questions. We're waiting for them at FBLDraftBoys.com.
Let's do it.
No, not .com.